Hello there, Mason. Welcome to Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr, Martyr, whatever the fuck it is. Prophecy update. Where essentially they made the game fun. Yeah. So let's. Oh nope, I wanted to switch character. I forgot how bad the UI is. So this is a Diablo-like, or a Diablo clone. It's a isometric. Down looking like this. Don't care. Go back to the main menu. The story's fine. It's not great. Character. Let's just create a character. So we have the Crusader, which is probably one of the best to play as. The Psyker's not really great. He's supposed to be your magic class, but it doesn't really feel like it. The Assassin's not that fun, unless you're playing with other people. Also, she looks fucking stupid right there. The Tech Adept was from a later... Actually... Yeah, I think... The Tech Adept and the Sister of Battle were added on in DLCs. The Tech Adept was added on in the Prophecy update, where they fixed the entire combat system. And the Sister of Battle came out like 3 years ago? It's an interesting concept, but from all the reviews I've seen, it's kind of just fan service-ish. Because they lack the DPS for a lot of it, and it's using like abilities from the other classes, it sounds like. All for $15. Isn't that great? So I bought the Ultimate Deluxe, whatever the fuck it is, the Ultimate Edition that has, supposed to come with all DLC. Like I said, it was all DLC up to that point. So Sisters of Battles, not included. Not really gonna buy it for 15 fucking bucks. Because this game's regular on sale for that price. So don't buy this game full price. Do not. You're gonna waste your fucking money. So we're gonna go as Crusader, which is your Space Marine. Tactical, it doesn't really fucking matter. Run and gun. These change. You can change your basic playstyle. Well, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I think we can change pretty much everything about this to whatever we want. +5 damage on kill. Melee damage, not bad. After moving, though. Ugh. Rain damage. Actually, we'll go tactical. We're gonna do story mode. I'll actually do normal. I thought story mode was going through the campaign, but I gotta make sure we read it carefully. So we're just gonna do normal. No, we're not doing my name. What's a good space? Bart E. Bartinius. There we go. That sounds vaguely right. Okay, select. Create character Y. Skip tutorial missions. Now, what are tutorial missions? Why the fuck? Whatever. We'll deal with it. Alright. So this game, I don't recommend this game for one main reason. You are forced to create a separate account onto their website and link your account to it. Which is, there's no reason other than them stealing your information, selling it, and collecting data from you that they can then later sell. And then they can also try and say, hey, we have 80,000 people signed up on our website. Isn't our website great? No, it's shit. So what I recommend is what I do is you create a dummy email address that you check once a year or when you need to sign up for something like that, and send all their bullshit traffic to it, to that fake email address. Because after I created the account on their website, I go through and unsubscribe from all their bullshit, scrub as much information of mine as I can from their stuff, and give them as much erroneous information as I can on their website. For example, I think I'm like a 75-year-old gentleman, 75-year-old female playing this on their website with a guy first name and some random string of characters as my last name. So it's always fun with that. So in this game, we're going to see if we can actually find the Warhammer 40k, and we can claim it before the other enemy does.
Inquisitor's log. Classified report. Scheduled for later transmission. I am closing on the source of the inquisitorial distress signal I was assigned to investigate. The coordinates I received from the Caligari Conclave led me to a desolate system. There were many delays during the journey. The intensity of the Caligari warp surges is beyond anything I've experienced. These anomalies are spreading through the subsector like a tidal wave. The distress signal has an ancient encryption used by the Holy Orders. It is authentic, but extremely old. The signal is coming from a battered fortress monastery that was likely spat from the warp when the tide of the surges swept through the sector. There is no response to our hailing signals.
Inquisitor, this is your captain speaking. I'm still trying to hail the monastery, but I get no response.
The hull looks intact, though. I think it was simply abandoned a very long time ago.
Then what do you expect to find over there?
Something that once belonged to the Inquisition, and lots of empty holes.
Sounds exciting. I've instructed your pilot to land on the hangar deck.
Stand by and wait for my signal.
Alright. So the game doesn't look anywhere as good as that. Now we're actually into the in-game graphics.
Inquisitor, the automatic defense system has been activated. The turrets are attacking you. Do you...
Yep. The cutscenes are great, but the actual in-game isn't that good. If I remember, the story's very... Oh my god, the cape, I forgot.
Captain, do you copy? Captain Van Winter, can you hear me? Strange. Vox communication is jammed and I can't use my teleporter device. Something must be disturbing my signal. I will record everything in my audio log, in case I don't return. Inquisitorial log, new entry. While attempting to dock in the hangar of an unknown fortress monastery, my transport took heavy fire. I suspect that the automatic weapon systems were activated, but I don't yet know why. The transport has been destroyed, along with my equipment. My pilot is dead. I will pray for him later.
Hang on, I gotta fuck with the settings. 1 second. Alright, well, we're here. So select is the tactical view, I'm assuming. Okay. Oh yeah, new tutorial.
Interesting. Mindless servitors were created for menial tasks. but having a flesh drone just for operating the door seems excessive. Open the door!
Denied. Oh no, it actually opened. Alright. So this game, I followed a little bit about the development of this game when it was being made. And the developers made a huge deal about Games Workshop giving them almost free reign in this sector of the galaxy, this section of the galaxy, to do what they want, to craft the story they want, and to tell and do what they need to, or what they could convince Games Workshop to let them do, which I guess Games Workshop kind of regrets letting them do that now, because it didn't do too well. The initial game was very, very not fun. Essentially, it was a cover shooter.
An ancient
But
cogitator.
not fun.
Let's see if the tech prayers still hold. It might have information about this place.
And of course, they skip a lot of actual useful stuff.
Just as I suspected, it's a pile of rust. At least I found some interesting diagnostics. I should check all the cogitators on the ship for other details.
Uh-huh. So yeah,
New log entry.
oh,
I
God.
found some human remains. The time of death seems recent. I don't like the look of the marks on the bodies. Something killed them with mindless brutality. Oh, yes. The perfect weapon to deliver the Emperor's justice.
Alright. So when I say it was a cover shooter and it wasn't fun, that's because cover is either extremely useful or fucking pointless. Inventory. So there's our character. Oh, we have points available. Really? Sure. I think we have to get to level 10 to get the points. Yeah, at 5 we get the first level, 10 is the second level. Okay, so deflection, health regeneration, we'll take that. So that's we have 5 extra now. Suppression, damage reduction. I guess we'll take deflection to keep us alive. There we go. Okay, and there's no actual I guess we just go on the next one screen. It doesn't say, hey, confirm. Oh, that's right. These are, I think, so these are typically locked behind, like, to get, like, a melee combat. You need to do X number of melee kills to unlock the combat training. But I think because I played through before and did a lot of the challenges, we can have access to all of these. And these are just essentially perks and things you can work towards. So like range combat, you have to start at one of the edges and work your way in, and then you can find out what you want to work your way towards. It just depends on your play style. I prefer the heavy bolter, excuse me, and having a melee weapon, some type. Just that way, you go through and you just smash people to fucking death if they get too overcrowded, or you rip them to shreds from a distance. Now, as we go through the game, we'll be given choices between basically the Puritan path or the radical path. I don't remember if it tells you which choice it is or not, but I don't think it really fucking matters, to be honest. Like I said, the story's fragmented a lot, and if you don't read all the little lore entries, you're gonna be fucking lost. Because I can't even tell you what the fucking story is. Other than we land here and stuff happens. Now, we have to come in here, excuse me, to look at what our weapon actually is, because... Alright, so it's a one-handed, but I don't know what the fuck these symbols mean. Alright, so that one, and you notice they all do different levels of damage. Also, we need to see, so it's a single target. So nope, this one does all, so it's channeled. So this one, as long as we hold down the button, it'll continue to do damage. So this is an aim shot. So it's best from a distance. Short burst. Assault, 4-degree spread, single target. And it's very important to see what these do, because certain ones, like it is an aim shot, meaning that it's affected by aimed shot skill. So it's important to understand what these do and how they work. For example, there would be some that are like, hey, this one does like suppression, or this one is channeled. So if you don't have the chill for channeled, it's not going to do as well damage. Also, the laser weapons are bullshit, because they don't do fucking... They're not really worth it at all. Because they just do so little damage.
Creature of chaos, can you withstand my faith?
Okay, thank you for that. So right trigger.
Ancient Imperial ship infested by chaos. So be it. Let's cleanse the taint then.
This is as fast as we can go, by the way. So generally, there's two ways that I play. Is either run and gun, which is where you max out your speed. Okay, so left on D-pad switches between them. No, give me the sorry, inventory. We have a, what is this? Auto gun. Think like a machine gun, but not as good. So we have Fleshbane, 30 damage against unarmored targets. It's weak versus armored, so if there's any enemies that are armored, we don't want to be using that skill. Weak versus armored. Alright, so if we come across an armored enemy, we want to use the aim shot, because it has knockback. But all these other ones, we don't want to be using these skills against it. Okay, so this is slowed to the target for 3 seconds. Only effects with suppressed. Okay. So if we use this one, we can shoot and retreat. Means we move backwards as we fire, obviously. But it's also not that bad. Fleshbane against unarmored. So this is an unarmored weapon, except we use the aim shot if we want to do, if we come across an armored target. Alright, so we do right trigger. And you can see at the, above the icons, there's a little bar. That is our ammo. We touch X and it reloads. Our pistol, or pistols, since we have 2 in our hands, they overheat. So we have unlimited ammo on them as long as they do not overheat.
New log entry. I have found a room tainted by the filth of chaos. There is also a tech priest maintenance shrine with a functioning cogitator. It could contain information on how I could turn off the Vox jammer.
Open fighter, approaching a rogue trader vessel. Yeah.
found new information. There is an emergency cogitator nearby where I could turn off the jamming signals. Open the door!
It is in the walls now. Everywhere. Taint. In the machines.
By the Emperor! What foul abomination is this? Talking servitor. It might be mind-locked, but this is still unusual.
So, this is where we would take cover. I think they're gonna teach us the cover system here.
Well met, heretics. It is time for you to die.
Forward.
So now if we hold left bumper, we get into cover. And you see that cover is not that useful. So you want to move to where we can get better. And that's with... If this was the 1.0 version, we would be dead. Because even though we take cover, it doesn't matter because they can still shoot through the cover and around the cover. So taking cover is only really viable if you're playing with multiple people. Also, you can destroy cover, but you need to have enough damage output to do it. So, like... We can't target it, it looks like. A is... It's a 3-round burst. Okay. There's some skills that let you just
Finally, that's
attack
the
the ground.
cogitator that will disable the jammer. I couldn't turn off the teleportation jammer, but the Vox should be fine now. Captain Van Winter, can you hear me?
Inquisitor, finally. I thought we'd lost you.
It would have been quite convenient for you, I suppose.
Trust me, I'm on your side. I'm not saying I don't want my ship back, but who would clear my name if you died in battle?
Your loyalty is quite admirable, Captain.
Oh. Thanks for just not letting me... Fucking hell. Alright. Yeah, now we unlock... I guess that's items to buy or crafting ability? I don't really recall what the fuck that is. But it shouldn't be skipping the end credit stuff. Hang on. I already hate this fucking UI. Holy shit. Show, yes. Don't care about local call-up. Don't care about that. Yeah, loot screen shouldn't be skipping. Okay, whatever. So, we have... I mean, they put all this weird shit in there. Like a, whatchamacallit, there's supposed to be like this subplot of that we've commandeered the ship, or there's something going on with Captain Winter or some shit, but also it doesn't really fucking matter because I don't think it ever comes back up. Excuse me. Which is like, alright, sure, I guess. Okay, so we are... Criticals, damage over time. What do we want? Probably movement speed, to be honest. Now these, if I remember, these are permanent. We cannot remove these. So if we don't choose wisely, it's not going to be great. Why would we want cooldown reduction for movement skills? Movement speed. You're missing HP. One-handed weapons. I think that applies to pistols. Well, not in combat. An exposed state. Okay. I think we're gonna go with damage. Single DPS is for a single target. Right? Yeah, on a single target. So if we're doing a attack on a single guy, they get more damage. Damage bonus and suppress damage bonus below 30% for a target. Knockdown when the enemy loses 50 in 1 hit. That's a lot, but that's for alpha striking. Melee damage. What about range? Range is always good. Crit chance. Against slow, shocked, and stunned. I mean, that's probably just the best one. Range. No enemy within 5 meters. Rapid fire skill. Assault tactics. Cooldown. 30% cooldown recovery speed for range skills. With at least 1 second cooldown when fighting from cover. We're not going to be fighting from cover. That's cool. I will just take range bonus damage. And our character... I forget how we get these points. Digital weapons, power axe. Okay, so we get... These are skills for passives. We just get them constantly. It goes up to what level? Level 100. Really? Level 100? That doesn't seem like... 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21 in this one skill tree. Okay, so we can't... You gotta choose carefully, apparently. Pistol... Passives. Yeah, I don't know how we get the attributes. I guess we'll just get them randomly from quests. Also, perks we can unlock by doing certain actions or completing quests or reaching certain milestones. So like, for example, well, kill with 100 grenades. Our grenades deal bonus well, it's 66 bonus damage, but no critical hits. Overheats. And there's some stuff that's nice, other stuff that's kind of trash. But you can only have 3 on you at one time, so you have to choose kind of carefully. It just really depends on what it is you want. Melee range. This is what I said when that you can change your perks or you can change your character to be kind of whatever you want. After moving, hip fire. What was 10% maximum HP from melee weapons? Suppression will never drop below suppressed. No HP regeneration. Okay. Against damage tied by 5. Taking lethal damage. That's good if you're on like real hard. But we don't have... We'll just keep that for now. Alright, that's there. And we'll get into the loot probably next time, or when we actually fucking get to some loot. Because essentially, you want to go with whatever the game won't. Well, I don't know if they changed it. Before it was if you didn't have a higher number of loot.
Picked up a Vox signal not far from your location. It is transmitting on an Imperial channel. It could be important.
I'm on my way there.
Yeah. So if we go to just a piece of loot. Oh, it doesn't have it. So there'll be a number for the loot, like in the top right of where it says last pistol. If you go all the way to the right, where it's near the end of the little box, basically it'll have like a number saying like what its rating is, quote unquote. That number dictates how overall good the item is, even though it may be dog shit. You have to have the better one equipped if you want better weapons to drop. So you may end up using a weapon that's worse for you, but has a better number and a chance that you get it to drop a weapon or a upgrades that you want, or better gear. Also, we can, oh my god, yes, I understand how to use a fucking, oh my fucking god, can I use the map? There's our tactical. So there's our basic map. Do we actually have a fucking, no. I forgot, this game doesn't want to give you a map because it would make it too easy.
Target locked.
So according to our, alright, so the blue ring on the outside is our max range. The inside ring, the tan one, is mid-range, I think it is. And we can target specific things. Oh. I had no idea that was actually an achievement. By targeting stuff like that. But I'll be honest, your character's more likely to target it by yourself than not. Switch back. There we go. So a lot of people will play with the mini-map up like this on the center of the screen because you're just going to be playing the mini-map and you're not going to be focusing on what's actually around in the world. That's something that Blizzard tried to get rid of from Diablo, which didn't really work very well.
What have you found down there, Inquisitor?
Some
Found your
unlucky
mom.
members of an Imperial retinue. This is a shrine dedicated to the ruinous powers. Somebody really wants his dark wishes to be fulfilled.
In other words, there's something on that ship that requires human sacrifice. Wonderful.
That's lovely. Okay. We also want to be aware of who we're dragging into a fight, because there'll be times when we don't want to aggro everyone in the world in a fight. Oh, we had access to our... what did we get? Our armor. Yeah, we got access to our armor ability, our sentinel. So this is actually the one I prefer, which summons down a turret basically to help us. It's very useful and it's nice. It's just a force field basically. We'll equip that. We need a switch. We're gonna replace our last pistol with a giant fuck-off sword. We need to see what the sword does, which is our left view. Blade Fury, single target, has knockdown ability, high suppression, it causes bleed. Causes bleed, but it's an AoE. Can break armor. And it's a spin to win, it looks like. Okay. So there are technically, like, as you see, these have physical and heat, and these are switched. That's because we have 4 of these on us, of these little sigils, I guess that'd be. 1 for each weapon set, so we can swap between those. We can change that if we ever get to it. Suppression is like our armor, basically. And this is our utility, pretty much. It lets us... We can have grenades, a minefield, or force field. It just depends on what your playstyle is. And these are just more loot. I mean, more equipment. So, if you now look, we now have a left trigger ability. But there's only 4 charges, which will get filled, sorry, as we... every mission, it'll get refilled, and we can also find things in the world that will allow us to refill it. So we can hold this down and it's spin to win. And that is something that we can see the sister sororitas, where the fuck her name is.
Yes, a grenade. Enemies of the Emperor, I'll blast you to smithereens.
And it automatically equipped it. So, as you can see, there's multiple different types of bullshit, basically. Okay. Yeah, they're going insane. Gotcha. Oh, look at that. There's no actual lore for that. Thanks, guys. It's like they kind of skimped on the dialogue, or having the character actually read stuff.
A proper welcome committee at last. That grenade could be useful now.
Yeah, so it wants you to...
This commander is tough. A worthy enemy at last. Reloading.
See how much the... See how much the fucking being in cover helps? It doesn't. So enemy encampments, you want to flank them. Unless you have enough DPS just to fucking overwhelm them, which most likely you're not gonna be. But we can take control of it. But as you can tell, it's not fucking very useful. Because it's... Unless it's like right up in front of it, you're not gonna be able to do anything with it. Because you can't see far enough. We can't even target up there. Can't shoot there. That's as far as we can shoot. So yeah, not the greatest. So we're just gonna destroy this real quick. We have to find the Vox signal. A lot of this feels like they had the voice actors come in. They had them record a set number of lines. What the fuck was that? Yeah, sorry, I don't know what that fucking context menu was. It's like they had the voice actors come in, record, you know, one script, and then they kind of parceled it out throughout the game, and then had another chunk of scripts that they've used for like
I'll take
logs.
his data slate. It could contain a recording that could shed some light on what happened here.
Which are just kind of ish. Okay, so a corrupt dreadnought, I think that was. We have a last pistol. Alright, so you can see how quickly all the loot and shit pops up. Compare. Alright, so this is +1 quality. But that's a las gun. But it does more damage. Because it's +1 quality, we need to put it on. +6 quality, it's an auto pistol. Versus las gun. Can be dual wield. No, we're good without that. Heat damage bonus. Sure. Why? Yeah. We're gonna switch this over because it's a better quality. 9 times out of 10, you're just gonna be switching it over because you have to. If you don't, you're not gonna have a good time. Six damage for assault gunnery? Are we assault gunnery? Demolition? I have no idea what the fuck assault gunnery is. Hang on. Running gun. Is assault gunnery a class or is it a... Okay, we can't change that. Good to know. I guess we'll find out one way or another. I think you'll find out that I can. Hey, we got medical supplies. So, our inoculator, whatever the fuck it is. There we go. We have a set number of charges per mission. That is our main heal. And if we run out of that, we die.
I found the body of a fallen Adeptus Astartes.
What? Did you just say that there was a dead space marine down there?
He must have been a member of that unlucky Imperial reconnaissance team I found.
Allow me to clarify that. You only found pieces of them. So it'll be just you against something that tore apart one of the mightiest champions of the Imperium.
Don't jump to conclusions just yet, Captain. It could easily be more than one creature.
It sounds like they have text-to-speech for her. But our guy sounds like it's an actual person. Also, they have to... Excuse me, the reason they came up with Adeptus... whatever it is, Astartes, is because Space Marine became genericized. Because they didn't defend their trademark. We can take... Oh, from that. I was like, we're taking cover on a body? No. Okay, so we got a better armor. Nope, it's actually worse. But it has better max HP. But it is worse quality. So because it's worse quality, we won't get any better gear than what we have. So we need to not take that with us, basically. We should be using the auto pistol, but we don't have a one-handed weapon other than the last pistol, which is dog shit. Alright, that was our special ability. Alright, so you can see that our special ability is basically a salvo of rockets for this armor. This armor dictates what we have. Chests typically have crafting junk in it. Yeah. The crafting, I don't remember, is actually that useful. Because you can create really overpowered weapons, and then you just won't find anything as good as what you can craft. So it's like, why craft? Well, I mean, why go for loot? But the issue is you end up with literally low-level stuff that you crafted being better than all the high-level stuff that you find. And that gets to be very annoying, because then you just won't find anything better than what you have, because you run into the issue that like this armor might have better stats than the demolition armor, but it's going to be lower quality than the demolition armor, but it's just better in general. So it's one of the things that's kind of backwards. So you have to lose, like I said, the worse armor than you should be using.
Team Sigma, this is Chaos Thorn speaking. Team Sigma, come in.
I'm afraid Team Sigma won't be responding anytime soon.
What? Who are you, and what are you doing there? Taking a stroll on the decks? By the Emperor!
Mind your manners. I am an Inquisitor, and I don't tolerate...
An Inquisitor? About bloody time. I thought your lot had followed Lord Klosterheim into the Dark Zone. Listen, we're under heavy attack in the control room, so I'd appreciate it if you could join us while we deliver the Emperor's will until our most triumphant death. Thorn out.
Alright.
New log entry. I established connection with someone from an Imperial expedition on the ship, but he is clearly confusing me with someone else.
So yeah, we're a Inquisitor, which is like a special agent or something like that. I forget exactly what we technically are, but we're not under anyone's real authority, if I remember correctly. It's hard to say. A lot of this shit just doesn't make... It makes sense in context, but if you think about it too much, you just start to not really understand. Or not really understand. Start to be like, what? Huh? How? Close quarters gunnery. Was that the one? Yeah, I think it was close quarters gunnery for that, right? For this one? Was it? For assault gunnery. Okay, so assault gunnery. Is that a perk? Close quarters. Augmented body, attack. That might be a skill point, but trying to find it in the skill thing, in the skill tree, is gonna be basically fucking almost impossible. How is this compared to the sword? I would really like to have... No, we'll just put it on the sword. We'll put it for X. We'll equip you to Y. It's not the greatest build right now, but it'll do. It'll do, pig. It'll do. All right. Then heroic deeds are... Oh, these are like achievements basically in game. Okay, and we get... Alright. Sure. I guess that also gives us the attributes, potentially. These. Mortality? I don't remember what mortality is. I think that's something to do with choosing the radical path or the Puritan path. I don't quite remember. It's been such a long time since I played this game. And it's got mindless fun. I would only really recommend it if you, 1, get it for dirt cheap, and 2, you're okay with having to jump through a few hoops to get the thing to work. But with that said, it's fine. I still don't really recommend it. Which is sad, because there's some good stuff here, but the game kind of just gets all muddled and falls apart the farther in you go. It becomes running from A to B to kill enemies, and then you complete the mission. That's it. But we'll try and see if I can make heads or tails of this fucking campaign, because I don't recall or understand really what happens in this, and I played through the game probably 3 or 4 times. And I want to try and understand it. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Till then, bye-bye.